Today on the show, I'm going to talk about the implications of companies like Groot, Figure, Optimus and Atlas, and Silicon Valley's race for human replacement. Let's get into it. Before I begin, I would like to remind you that the opinions expressed here are solely my own and do not represent any of the views of the companies mentioned. This show is solely for entertainment purposes only and should not be considered investment advice. If I made this video just a year ago, I don't think the idea of human replacement by robots would really be a concern. When Boston Dynamics robots were doing backflips, we also knew they weren't showing the same robot holding a pencil, and there was a good reason for that. You could, and still can, build very specialized robots that can perform tasks way better than any human. But until recently, the idea of a general purpose robot capable of doing many things was unrealistic. That was, until the introduction of the first human-robot hybrid, Ilya Sutskever.
He's really the guy behind it all. Sutskever.
For those that don't know, Ilya is OpenAI's Stephen Wozniak, otherwise known as the real brains of the operation. And the reason this is important is that the promise of AI is a near exponential curve of increasing capabilities towards AGI.
I'm excited.
The reason they have opted for human-like form factors is because they can leverage the input data of real human movement and problem solving to eventually program these robots to emulate and improve upon our own capabilities. So while these robot shells don't seem overly impressive today, the expectation is that it won't be long before these robots can do stuff way better than we ever could. Something my wife learned many years ago.
Set it to vibrate and finish yourself off.
The list of challenges these companies face is quite large, from bipedal locomotion, dexterity and sensing and perception, as well as safety and energy efficiency. There's a laundry list of technical challenges, all of which will likely improve with effective AI implementation. That said, the biggest topic of conversation around these robots today has been the ethical and social implications, which I don't think these companies are too worried about. After all, if successful, there's more than enough corporate use cases to turn these companies into hectacorns by completely replacing human labor. So this will be a decision driven by profits, not social acceptance.
Show me the money.
If it gets to the stage where employees are rebelling because they feel like they're being replaced by robots, then the sad truth is, even if they are successful in these efforts, new companies will emerge that start with fully autonomous robots by default, and the change will occur regardless. As Karl Marx said, the production of too many useful things results in too many useless people. I guess he got some things right. For the record, I do genuinely err on the side of innovation leading to new types of work and opportunities. As the son of a man that to this day still hasn't sent a text message, I also appreciate that for many, technology isn't a savior, but an indifferent power that passes them by and fails to pick them up on the way. Does fighting it make it any less inevitable? I think the arc of human history has shown that the answer to that is no. So in the face of such a change, your best bet as an individual is really to embrace it. So as one of my design heroes, Jack Fresco, pointed out back in 2010,
automation is being installed very quickly. And the rate that automation is being installed is going up like that.
And this is coming from the same guy who predicted autonomous vehicles and artificial intelligence, as well as suggesting green energy alternatives back in the 60s. The future that Jack Fresco points out is one that is called lights out manufacturing, because machines don't need heat, they don't need sleep, they don't need light, they don't need insurance. They don't fuck off on the job or complain and take holidays. They just do what they are programmed to do. So when we're sold a future in which your robot servant takes your dog for a walk, does your laundry, takes out the trash and cleans your bathroom, and then still has enough energy to boogie with you come the end of the day, just remember,
the more people you lay off, eventually they won't have the money to pay taxes or buy the product.
So as we extrapolate on the possible trajectory of these technologies and be honest with ourselves that they'll likely be too expensive for most to own, and that the benefits and increases in efficiency will only accrue to those who can afford to get access, I can't help but think that autonomous robots will be a huge driver of wealth disparity. Of course, America could introduce some kind of system like UBI to keep everyday people above water, but then the US can smell a commie ideal from a mile away, so the chances of that happening are next to nil. It's unquestionable that the folks in charge of developing these technologies are well aware of these potential outcomes, and so it will be in their best interest to show the potential value adds to society that human robots could provide, of which I'm sure there are many. Who will win in this robot foot race is anybody's guess, and I'm on the fence about this one. I love watching technology develop, and I'm awestruck at the rate of progress at this moment in time. I just hope that the people in charge of these projects have good intentions and bring about a future that benefits us all. Maybe I'm just being too much of a cynical Brit on this one. What do you think? let me know in the comments. A reminder, if you're interested in investing in startups, you can invest alongside me by Googling Ricky Richards Syndicate or clicking on the link in the show notes to learn more. If you're the founder of a US-based startup and you're looking for capital or to be featured on the show, you can visit my website, rickyrichards.com, to email me directly. For everything non-startup related, you can find me on Instagram. And finally, anything I've mentioned in today's show, along with links to our sponsors, will be listed in the show notes. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you to Adam Shaw, our editor, as well as Record ATX for hosting the show. This was Risk and Reward. I'm Ricky Richards. See you next week.